Today, this observation in my life experiences story name is Something About My Childhood. God, this is the title. God's ways are very mysterious. So long these eyes are connected to your brain, your mind, you can grow intelligent, intellectual reason, science, how things are created, medicines, and on and on. And once your eyes are connected to your universal consciousness, then take a awareness that your awareness start expanding the external and internal universe like a crystal blue cloud, like a sky. Like a sky has no limitation, so this awareness leads you to spiritual path. Then once again your eyes are connected to your conscience and you follow your conscience. This is a point where spiritual journey take place, and you are coming to join the spirituality and knowing the God nature of creation. Why God created this creation? Spiritual curtain is open for you, and you can have a immediate observation and experiences in spiritual life. That put this way that even at this point, angel even welcome you and invite you in spiritual life. And there are many secrets come to know in the angelical world because they are very intelligent beings and they give guidance and you are growing spiritually. We call that thing the dimension of paradise. Growing stages, white light dimension. This white light dimension called way to the truth, and by observation you come to know the nature of truth, and dimension by dimension truth never change, but expression change. That's why they have countless dimensions, formation stages, paradise, growth stages, complete stages. And this is complete stages where you receive honor, that where archangels are living, that relatively this dimension belong to archangels. And all these three categories, formation stages, growth stages, complete stages, countless dimensions are existing. And once your eyes are connected with your heart, then you come to know life comes into existence because of love. Love came into existence because of God actually. So if there would be not a creator, love would never take a birth. So God's motivation, love, gave opportunity, external, internal creation to exist, or came out from concept into reality. So love was the motivation. But love itself took a birth because of God actually. So God is a subject and love is object. Then God love is subject and life is object. So let's put this way, God is not a love. This is the wrong. Many people say God is a love, love is God. No, that's not true. Where love becomes mystics, there begin the footprint of God. So there begin, when you become mystic, footprint of God, there take a direct journey we take together with God. So again I say I am very lucky that I born in Sufism. Sufism always say that universal truth is not belong to anyone. This universal truth, this life, this love belong to only one. And this is our creator, we call God actually. So I was born in this Sufism, and very early stages I came to know that this life is a building bridge. This life is a journey to find our unique value with God and find our everlasting living relationship, our destination with God actually. This is the main motivation for Sufism, for this journey, and the result is then enlightenment. So today I like to share something about my childhood. But before I say something my childhood, I would say that God smiled, God loved, and God was happy to create this creation, external and internal. And because He was happy to give joy to His creation, therefore the color of love came in these creations, external and internal. Otherwise, and the dream, otherwise forget. And this dream became a very colorful and became into reality because God loved motivation for His creation. If God would not be existing, then there would be no song will complete in love actually. This was a love. This was a God love which gave opportunity to emotion, this heart, to complete their song, their melody, and their express in this creation for love. Once someone comes spiritual, this person, every direction when he look at, if he's a blue sky, if he take a breath, if he see nature, if he see valley, mountain, forest, flower, every beauty remind him and attract him, magnet him to his creator. So at this point, my journey was very clear and the identity of God was very clear. This was a inheritance from Islam, that there is only one creator. Now I begin my few journey as a childhood memory. I was a very much habit as a child when I was a 5, 6. In this age of 7, I love to bring my cat's drachen in the air actually. And many times happened that even was during the rain time, still I want my drachen to take, and I have a Friday, and I go to top of this roof and I want to, my motivation, I always wanted that my drachen will go how high can go in blue sky, and especially when small rain was, even my drachen was a little bit wet, but still it was flying. And every time I saw the cloud was moving, and I could see in changing of cloud, and there was a beautiful romantic weather. I see many beings and angel. Well, I was the only one in this time when it was rain, and so one day I was with this motivation. I put my Zahid very high, and sometimes too high, like a 1-2 kilometer high. This is in Pakistan is possible, in Europe is not possible. Even more. So my mother tell me that one man appeared in this Lahore, in this area where I was living, where we was living, and he was researching to one special boy, and altogether different state, many boys came together, parents brought, because he was saying this one boy is special in this area, and he was calling this boy golden boy in the eyes of God. So many children was coming together, and many family parents, they brought their children there. But he was checking everyone, and then my mother, who have also 11 children, and he checked these children and he says, woman, do you have one more children? She said, yeah, but this child is, every time some rain season, he take his drachen and he fly in the air, and he's very, even I will ask him, he will not listen to me. But then this man says, woman, go and tell this boy that someone came specially from God and he want to see you. So my mother went and she found me in the roof, and was small raining was there, and she asked me, there is somebody, he called God, he's a God man, and he's looking all the children, he couldn't find, so now I show all the children, but he said, no, this is not the one. And so he want to see you. Now my drachen was very high, and the way my drachen move in the blue sky, I see many beings, many sometimes I was seeing angel who was flying together with my drachen, and the weather was very romantic. And I refused that I don't want to meet this man. Unfortunately, my mother went there and said, this boy Drachen is so high and he don't want to come to see you actually. And He always says that when he makes his tahan so high in the blue sky, he see angel, he see different being. So this man says, if he don't want to come, then I come to him. So finally my mother brought this man on the roof. When I look at this man, I could recognize right away because his eyes were almost bigger than, like if you see horse eyes, was so big that human being cannot have. And I saw sternly, because I was spiritually open, that he was not a human being actually. So he said to me, boy, I want that your trachen in blue sky should be continued. So we can call your friend, but I need few minutes with you. So his neighbor boy came and he held my trachen, and I came down from the roof, and he looked at me, and he looked at me, and he looked at me. He was staring at me, and then he says to my mother, this is this boy I came to give him blessing actually. And he put his both hand and he put his face on my head. A while afterward, he stood up and he said to my mother, woman, when the deep darkness will be in this world, and when there will be no hope left for knowing God as a living relationship, then there will be golden sun gonna rise this boy's forehead, from his front forehead, and this will shine all over the world. And this will be the time when all prophecy will become true. That what is it written, the kingdom of God will establish on earth. And same sentence one time again he repeat before me, and he say, you will be the one who will give salvation to mankind. Since God created this creation, this prophecy is continued. But you will be the one who gonna reveal and open his heart. And this will be near in future, mankind can come to know nearest way to meet God actually. And it will be happen because of you. And then he kissed my forehead. And my mother went with him, and he just went on the corner because there was many people waiting. But only in this corner, front of everybody, he disappeared. However, this was not the phenomenon for me. I told my mother later, I say, what do you think? He was a human being? She says, yes, must be Sufi. I say, no. God sent him from heaven to give this good news. So, this is one occasion. A second occasion, my mother said to me when I was pregnant with you, angel took me many times in paradise. And I was enjoying the paradise, and I was taking a shower there. There was a crystal water was falling from the true source of beautiful mountains, and I always take and I relax there. This happened until you was born. The day you born, it stops actually. And she says, this was a Friday morning, and before you born, I was in very much pain actually. But surrounding me, I saw so much light, and because observe this light, I forget my pain. And that's the way you was born. Like if somebody the whole pain was gone. In beginning was there, but when the light came, light was surrounding me. After a while, I did not receive any pain. When you came out and they gave it to me, in this moment, I saw a big blue crystal ball, and light was shining from this crystal blue ball like a golden light actually. She said this never ever happened with my other children actually. So that's what she shared with me. And then an other occasion, she said when you was born, I was so much spiritual open, I could see Sufis who was living in paradise, I could see angel, and they always say, we came to visit this boy. Woman, take care of this boy, because we are coming to see this boy. So very early stage, my mother said we have a lot of problem with water. We have to go far away to get water. But you was the one this angel was saying, Sufi was saying, who was living in paradise, give this boy every morning a shower. And this was continued until you came 12, and then this spiritual vision became less and less. And other occasion, before it began that my heart did not felt to go to school. I was a young boy. there was a great Sufi around us, and he has a many thousand Sufi member. And one day he saw me, and he know my father, my family, and he says, allow me that I take care of this boy. So then what happened that my heart was totally out of the school education, and I went always to this Sufi, and this was a time period when the Sufi saw so many things, and he was sharing with me that you will be the one. Even he was the one who took me to Kashmir and said, this is a Jesus who left the mission and he came over here. And in this environment, I came to know many things actually. And one day my spiritual father said to me that normally children was making tea for him, or everybody was serving. But when I came, he started serving me actually. And I said to him, all many thousand members want to serve you. They feel honored. Why you don't allow me to serve you? This day he said to me, I want to tell you, remember me one day in heaven, because I saw your destination. You will be too near to God. And remember me, I don't know which dimension I will be. Remember me, and you will be the Messiah for this world. And but I see after this, I could not go further. I could not fly. But there is a more blessing waiting for you. And this day he cried very much. He says, I came to know more truth about God, but God was saying not to leave India when the country became separate. But because of family, wife, relative, I left India, came Pakistan. From that day, God left me. Because God said, in this Islamic country, you will not have a freedom, and I cannot reveal to you. And that's exactly happened actually. You were writing many times things, I think it's an observation and experience. And then I was the only one. He went in the cave, in the basement, and he were keeping all this paper there. And then he locked it. And some paper, when I was grown up, I have a chance to see, I was shocked. But I left then country in the end. When he died, he has many followers, but when they went in the cave, they checked and they found those old papers like a stable, so many. And then they find out. And they says, if in our lifetime we would find out all this thing what he was writing, he should be murdered in our lifetime, in his lifetime. He was even claiming he is a prophet. He was even claiming there are many things he write down his observation, which they were so hateful that even he went to, he wrote many things which is not even Quran. So what they did, then later on they burned everything and they kicked him out not to bury there, and even they don't want he bury in Muslim cemetery. It was a very sad time period. And other occasion, my mother was a teacher, Quran teaching, and she was, and she always midnight prayer. She say, God, I want to see you one time, and this time period, in this age of 15, God said to me, leave your country. Your religion, your tradition, your culture, I will give you a new world. And so I left. So I was meeting my my mother 19, I think about 27, between 30 years later. And she was still alive, and she said to me, you claim that God chose you. You meet God. All my life I was longing to meet God actually. So first occasion happened that I bought a house in Pakistan. House was very big, and seminar times, my lecture time, many people were sitting in hall, and she did not got a space. So she was the last person who came inside, but then door was closed. And my lecture was going on, and many people was inside. But when my lecture was finished, because she was the last one, she opened the door. She says, I saw outside a so big cloud of blue light. When I opened the door, I went out, I saw this was just took off. But while they took off, I could see in the crystal blue light this being, and each my cell, my eyes, my spirit, each my cell was shaking and saying, this is a God, this is a God, this is a God. She says, Heavenly Father, she said, God was also hearing your lecture, because I was the last, so I opened the door, and then I saw that such a big crystal blue ball took off, but I could see inside it, the being. Then, because my mother loved me very much, and relatively everybody was saying, so long you was not here, she says, I have so many children, but my heart was lost in Zahid actually, because there is my love found, my peace actually, and joy. So in this time period, my book didn't came out actually, because my book came out 2000, And this time period was in 2084. So book is coming out about much later. So it was amazing that when I lay down, my mother gave massage my feet. Even I told her I don't want, but she gave massage my feet, my head, and she was giving massage to my feet, and in this relax, I was closing my eyes. But after my mother, on the next, we don't have a bed like a European. We have we make with wood actually. She sat down, but then she felt tired. But her feet was on my head side, because she gave my head massage then, and there she, next this wood bed, she felt tiredness, and suddenly somebody shake her, and she wake up with fear actually, and the angel was standing and says, "Woman, you don't know that God book is there and you put your feet this direction?" And she says, I looked this direction, but you was laying there, but in this moment your body was not there, and I saw a red book with golden written actually, and from there was coming crystal blue and golden light, like a flame was going forward like a high to heaven actually. She said, I saw this thing about 10, 12, 13 seconds actually, and I was shaking actually. So the angel said, "Woman, bow, bow, bow here." She said, when I want to bow to this flame and this book and this light was coming out, then this moment I saw that book disappeared, God's light disappeared, and golden and this fire and flame. And this moment when I want to bow, I saw, I bow to your cough actually. And I was shaking. She waked me up and she told me everything, that what I saw. And then other occasion, because she was a teacher, she teach Quran, and one night again came crystal blue balls, and she said this was a midnight prayer when I just wanted to pray, and I know that next room, this was a timing when you was for your prayer time actually. So I just, I went other room to pray, and then so big ball light came that I got there was a crystal blue, but there was so much golden light that I got so panic, so fear, which never happened to me in my whole life. Then the voice came, I'm a God of this creation. You were longing all your life, woman, to see me. Why you have a fear? Why you have so much panic now? And my mother was shaking. And then God said to her, you was longing 40 years to meet me, but you have divided my love in this world actually. You have divided my love in your children, You love your children more, your family, your relative. You are so busy in this world, you have forgotten me. You have 40 years this worldly worries, and that's why you're feeling fear. But then God says, look at on the other side, right hand side. And she said, this moment I could not see the wall, and I saw you was praying, and over your shoulder there was so much God-like actually. And circling around was angel was standing while you was praying. And then God said to her, you saw him, he will be the first foundation on this earth and eternal life. He will never divide my love to anyone actually. His first, his everlasting love, his last love will be belong to me actually. I will be true source, quelle, where in future world all love will grow. He will lay the foundation, and in this foundation new world will take place, and mankind will come to know my value, and then through him come a new world where mankind will love me first and everlasting, their last love, first love, will be always belong to me. And then she said that God light uplifted to sky, and then around was circling, was many beings. And she said, this was shaking my heart. I thought I will die actually. So, and she said she was feeling so fear. She turned the light on. She could not sleep. She was waiting with all her children, my sister, brother, until I finished my prayer. And then she was sharing me what happened to her. And other occasion, my father was a very old man when I went in about 1986, and he was sitting near me, and he was watching how my mother gave massage. So he started giving massage to my hand actually. Yes. I said to my father, do you wash your hand actually? And he said, yeah, I wash my hand, everything. And so he started giving me massage. And in this moment, while he was giving me massage, he said, you were relaxing, and I felt you were now sleeping. But when I want to leave your hand, came so much crystal blue light out of my hand, out of your hand actually, and is blinded. I could not see anything else, and I saw myself in paradise actually. And he says, there's a wonderful world, and this angel say, it is a time you make a pledge that your next life you want to give God and this Messiah, and that's life you will follow him. So afterward he says this vision was gone, and he was almost shaking with this, what he saw, because in his life never happened. And he said he wanted to wake me up, but he wait until I wake up. And then he was sharing with me. And something very, after a while, I was giving many city big rallies. And one day I say to my father, you sit still, I want you to come also in the rally with me. And maybe he was your old man. And he said to me, my son, always when the rally take place, I'm early morning leaving with first bus, and I wait almost 6 until 8 hours before your rally began. Only you don't see me because there are so many massive people there. But if you want, I can repeat your every word, what you are speaking about God. This day, my tear came in my eyes. In my family, we always take an arm, and this was very normal in my families. So my father was shaking, and my father was shedding tears. And amazing thing is, when my father died, he went to higher world. We call this thing human world. And my mother also died. She went one religious dimension. And but something is very amazing. When he was living, his nature was, I never saw he ever talked about somebody behind actually, yes. And when people was complaining about somebody, he said, well, everybody have not a good day. Our life is up and down. So maybe he didn't make this mistake by purpose. He always justified that human being, he tried to protect them and ignore their mistakes. And one day he was saying to my mother, you are a very religious woman, but I see you very often you talk about behind other people. About other people. If this God allow that you should talk about and complain and about other people, and my mother was not, she was angry sometimes, but after life after death I saw he went very high world, which we call it Sufi word, neutral. My mother was down in the dimension. So it tells everything. And when I came into Europe, when I was in my country, I saw, and then Europe, that when two people meet, they always talk about bad about third person. If they can go in better dimension, no, not at all. Because in paradise or high world or neutral dimension, they belong to Sufis. You cannot enter because there's a one of integration point. If you talk about other people, complain about other people, talk about negativity, they will not allow there. They will send you down actually. And I gave my books or lecture, 12th integration point. I don't remember right now, but we'll put in this book too, that even you are belong to paradise, but this 12th integration point, if you have this evil, bad habit, you are not allowed to go further. You have to integrate down dimension yourself. And this is a challenge in this spiritual life. And there are many things in my childhood which time by time I like to share. Yes, I like to share, and even during my life when I was 6, 7, my spiritual growth was so far that I could travel paradise, and every paradise I land, my first question was in this beautiful paradise, to these people, dimension to dimension. Did you ever meet God? Did you ever saw God? And they was very surprised. They was embarrassed with the situation. And I asked even the angel, did God visit here? Did you ever saw God? But there was silence. And when they didn't give me answer, I took off. And I always went to other dimension to research God. This was during my childhood happened. And almost every night I went in wonderful world, and every time when I was there, the first thing I asked, did you ever meet God? Does God visit you here? And this was a wonderful paradise, but they was so surprised, they were staring at me. But they didn't give me any answer. So in very early ages, I was longing about God, so intensive actually. And when I was almost 10, I was even saying myself, if I will meet God, I will everlasting. I will have no condition and no expectation. And I met God, and this was a wonderful. I wrote in my books, God opened His light, and I'm not an old man today, and I even forget how many times I met God actually, and but I know that first meeting when God kissed me, and my head, my eyes, from that day was always crystal blue light in my eyes. And now I'm an old man, but even when I take a walk alone, even in this walking, sitting, writing book, I see God crystal blue light 1,000 times. And then I see many times blue light coming from my eyes even. As an old man, even many times happened that when I want to lay down, Heavenly Father come and ask me if He can lay down beside me. And that's happening when I became old, and this is my legacy, Heavenly Father say, that many became prophet and many meeting God. And God said one time, this earth will be full with prophet, filled with prophet. And this will be so great, son and daughter. And Zahid, they will come to know my value most deeper than anyone. And I will not hide my face. I will be always present with them. I hide my face with these people. In their heart, they don't have space for me. They have no space for my will. They don't want to have a journey. But through you, in future world, there will be great. Earth will fill with prophet. You will be great son and daughter. And they're going to have a so deep relationship with me. Heavenly Father say. They will speak better than any prophet in the past. They will listen me better than anyone. And they will be the son and daughter, where everything will be revealed actually. This day I was so happy. I share so many things. I bow to God. When I want to then go, God called me and He said, come over here. And then God says, I'm still creating many creations. I know all my heaven. And this earth will be one day shining with my love. And they will be great son and daughter. And then God says, but he will never find another Zahid. This I will never find. I know you are the only one who brought my dream into reality. And I wanted to bow, but in this moment God did not allow me and hold me in His arm. And many tears was falling, but this tear was from God, tear of happiness and joy. And time by time I will share more about my childhood, my life with God. And this story will be recorded also in I Lost in My Heart. If it touch you and it move your heart, and your heart become like an ocean, and the wave of your ocean in love want to embrace God, and some tear come in your eyes. This tear will be key to open you up. And there are only one heart, but I always say in this heart, there are billion, trillion, countless windows can be opened to see all this mysterious and observations and experience and journey with God, and to find your home and destination with God.